Hello and welcome to part 2 of the police interrogation of accused murderer Matheau Moore.
So was this a social media post or like a text message?
It was I messengered it like a messenger that other people can't see. It's just what I sent it.
So that you sent it iPhone to iPhone?
Yeah.
And this was at like 3 in the morning?
I think it was at 3.
This was stepbrother?
Half-brother.
Half-brother.
All lives in Florida.
Half-brother.
And I'm fairly, I've been kind of doing my thing, trying to figure out the timelines and stuff, and I'm pretty sure, and I think there's one more in there too that I sent out that I don't know if anybody responded to, but I definitely sent it out, I'm not sure. You have to look, a friend.
And you haven't gone back to look to see?
I did, I'm nervous right now, I'm not really sure. I don't think they responded to it, so I'm not sure. I have 5 friends that we kind of like just goof around and text each other.
So did you text the one friend or the 5 friends?
I didn't text 5 friends. I remember texting I believe it was my brother about the Dana White issue, and I remember texting my stepfather about the water bottles he collects. He collects spring water. He drinks spring water, and we just started doing that. We go that day. We went down and got spring water, and I was talking about how the shelf life of water.
You texted him that night too?
That early morning.
Yeah, the 3-ish or whatever.
Monday early morning.
Yes.
No, it wasn't 3. It was. So I said it was more like
anytime from midnight to 3-ish.
When we see the times, he might have responded at 8 o'clock, and I texted him at 3. I would have to see my phone to tell. But there was definitely correspondence going on while I'm trying to fall asleep at night.
Any social media posts?
You'd have to check. I don't think so. I don't think so. But at some point in the morning, I fell back asleep. I did get back to sleep, and I didn't wake up until late into the morning. And the first thing I did was, because I knew we had to go to this, we'd been invited to a party, was I said, hey, we still want the party, and she didn't respond.
And where was that party?
I don't know him. She just barely knows him. It's on there. I talked to him, actually, because I gave him, they were like, who's this guy? And I found out who he was, and they called him, and I texted him, and I asked him, maybe she went over there.
You texted him from your phone?
I'm not sure. No, I think it was hers, because it was through her. It was her phone. So I wouldn't have it. I don't even know this guy. And I asked him, hey, is Emily over there? Maybe she went over there without me. Maybe I slept too late. And she just said, whatever. I'm not going to get him up. I'm just going to go without him. And he said that he hadn't heard from her all day.
About what time was that?
11, 12, 11, maybe close to 12.
You texted him?
I don't know, one night. Maybe a couple hours after that, or I would hate to not say. I don't know.
So then, in your words, you got up like around 11-ish?
I was it closer to 12, if I could remember correctly. And I got up and I walked around and she wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, she's out doing her thing. And I went back to my couch. She was kind of there, over from the night before. And the next thing I did was text her again at, I think 3. I think it was like 3 hours later. And I'm like, I guess we're not going to the party. Where are you? I didn't ask her that, but I was like, I guess we're not going to the party. And that was the last thing I texted her. Got up again, and then I looked, there's her car, there's her purse, there's her phone. Things started, this is not right.
Where was her phone when you found it?
On her end table.
Is that normally where it is?
Well, no. Yes, sometimes. If she's lying there, that's where it is.
Does she generally sleep in the bed?
Like I said, sometimes she sleeps on the floor. She's just been recently doing that.
Well, what I'm saying is when she sleeps in bed, is her phone on the end table next to the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when she sleeps on the floor, where does she put her phone?
The phone's with her most of the time.
Okay. Does she always have her phone with her?
She always has her phone with her. And the only time she doesn't, and I said this when the first guy that came over, she goes out with these forage things, and she does this route, and he was like, does she ever go out at night, by herself? And I'm like, no, she doesn't. That's something, but she does. At times, now that I think of it, especially if she's got a buzz and she's drinking, she'll get that, and she'll grab a flashlight, and she'll go on us, and she comes back with the forage, and she shows them.
Let me rewind real quick. I got a question. So between 11 and 3, what were you doing? Were you just laying there on the couch?
11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, it was lying in my son's room.
Okay.
Kind of just chilling, recovering, waiting for her.
Did you ever go to the bathroom at any point?
I don't. Yeah, there was periods where, I definitely got up.
Okay. You didn't notice she was gone? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. The first time when I texted her and said, are we going to this party? And she didn't get back to me, I checked the Find My phone, and the phone said that she was there. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? At some point that happened. So it just didn't, okay, she's doing her thing, she's going to come in and get me when we're ready to go, or whatever. At some point, she didn't come in and get me. I got up, went out there, between 11 and 3 at some point. It still wasn't a big concern. I wasn't freaked out. I kind of went around a little bit, and the first thing I did was look to see if her car was there, because she would have took off. Mm-hmm. That would have made sense. She left. But her car was there, so okay, she's doing something. She's just out and about. I texted her again at 3. I'm pretty sure that's the time. You guys can check the.
And in between those 2 times, you texted the gentleman in.
No, I didn't get concerned until the second time I texted her and said, hey, I guess we're not going.
Okay. So you texted him after
3. That was at 3, could have been 3:40, could have been 3:50.
Okay.
Then after that text, that's when I got up. I didn't even know her phone was still there because I texted it. So her sister made a group text that I didn't notice. And her sister says it was at 3:45. Mm-hmm. And she says she responded to it.
At 3:45 p.m. on Monday?
Yes. Let me think. I'm getting screwed up. I'm not getting this screwed up. Maybe it was 8:45 in the morning. That's what it was. It was 8, so while I'm sleeping.
So her sister, what's her sister's first name?
Her sister name is Amy.
Okay. She said a group text at 8:45 that
To
night?
her and I, and from that you can tell whether someone views it. And she said that we both viewed it at some point. I don't know when I did. She said that, I don't know if you can tell when they get viewed, but it was viewed. And I didn't, it wasn't me that viewed it with the phone. So to me, she was there at 8:45 or 8 in the morning. Emily was there. That's my. And the guy across the street, John, said that he saw her at 10 or 10:30 or whatever.
No, that's incorrect. John has since backtracked.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what the year. And he re-entered like 8 to 9, and then he's now saying I can't
swear to it. And
maybe not, could be Sunday.
So that makes it look bad for me.
Well, it just makes it great. I mean, we're not going to put.
You guys want to look at anything in my body? You want to look at anything at all? I'm here.
Well, let's just talk. And
I hope you guys know that I love my wife, and I would never.
Well, that's kind of where I was going to go next. Because we've kind of beat this timeline down pretty good. So, you guys got married 2 years ago?
We got married August 28. August 28, 2018. Easy one to remember, right?
8/28/20. Okay.
And I had a son.
Any tissues or anything? Drink water? Okay. We know about it. We don't need to. We don't want to bring up bad memories, so let's try and focus on. Okay, because I don't.
Choke. Horrible. Oh, schizophrenia is the worst thing that happened to me. I don't
So, what years did you live out in Vegas?
I did 25 years out there. 93, 4. And I left to come out here to get my son. He was having trouble in school. And not trouble, he just couldn't learn very well out there. And they didn't have special education out there. And my dad said, come on out here and live with me. And we'll enroll him in Worthington. They have a special course for kids that aren't doing well. And so I moved out here. And that's, when I was out here, I don't know what year that was. I'm guessing it was just a few years ago. He was a freshman in high school, so he would have graduated this year, so it would have been 4 years ago. He was in 9th grade. And Emily and I met via the internet, and we started dating, and it lasted like a year. My son didn't make it in the school he was going to, and I ended up having to move out of the house in my dad's home. I was living with my dad, and I ended up in a place I could afford because I was working at the casino here in town, which is a real crappy casino. I can only afford to.
Big difference.
Yeah, I was making really good money out there, and so I moved to the continent, and I just wasn't making enough money. So and Emily and I weren't like living together type relationship. So I took off. I said I gotta go back to Vegas and try to get my job back. And I went back there, and my son got sick, and I had still been in contact with Emily, and I'm like, Emily, Joey's sick, like sick, he's got, and I don't have any insurance because I quit my job, and when I moved back to Vegas, they didn't give me insurance. It was a long process because of that Obamacare, so I didn't have any insurance to take care of my kid that had caught schizophrenia. We didn't know what schizophrenia then, but he was sick. And she said, well, come on back here and marry me. Come on back here and marry me, we'll get him in Westville. So I moved back probably in July. We got married in August. We enrolled in school.
Okay.
And that's how things went. And things were really, really super great.
And things were great with you and him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She saved my life.
Now, we all have some issues with our wives. We and I have both been married once before and divorced, okay? We all know how marriages are, so there's ups and downs. What were the downs?
I lost my sex drive after my kid died, sort of, and there was an issue with that. There was never any, she really was really great with the house. She was really meticulous, and I liked it. She reminded me of my mother when it came to taking care of a home, and so she would tell me to wash this and do that, and I really dug it. Did you read our text?
Well, we didn't go through everything. There
might be some old text where we were like, whatever, but it was, after my son died, there was tension, stress. She dealt with it differently than I did, and so there was things that were said back and forth. But the whole Corona thing really, we became really super. She's like, and then we need each other. Let's do this thing. Guys, I did not hurt my wife. I did not hurt her. I loved her. Was there times when she would kind of say, I'm not afraid to die, this thing? I mean, don't they all kind of be like that? Sort of. Nothing that I would ever call anybody go, my wife's going to hurt herself. Nothing.
Now, why would you think she would hurt herself? I mean, possibility.
Because she was, not that she ever would, I'm just saying she was emotional. She would get emotional. She was very an emotional person. And she would say things like, and then when Joseph died, it was like this thing where she would be like, well, if I would do it if I needed to do it,
Literally 2 weeks ago, there was one person that she kind of confided in through text messages and so forth.
Said something that.
And she said that Matt picked another fight with me last night. This was 2 weeks ago. And then they kind of go on and talk about it a little bit. Early May, so we're talking this month. Matt and I are talking and friendly, but it's not the kind of relationship I want. In April, a month ago, please don't talk about Matt and I in love. She said, same day, He hasn't been the same since Joey, which I understand. That's not a criticism. I completely get that. It's certainly changed. And at the same time, she said, I think Matt is mentally ill. And then the same day, we aren't talking. Reference your relationship, we're not talking. This was a month ago. She said, we're not talking. And she said, I don't want to talk about him. I'd rather focus on the future. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night. This was February. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night and said some things I don't think he can take back. I'm fine. I'm pretty sure we are not going to stay together. What do you think?
I mean, we would argue about things, but I didn't think that it was that.
What was it that you said? She was mad.
And she focused on one thing, Matt picked a fight. Again, this is April. This is barely a month
She
ago.
would accuse me of picking fights.
Okay, but this was a month ago. Okay, and this is heavy. Matt picked a fight with me yesterday and said some awful things. I'm not wearing my wedding ring. And that doesn't sound like somebody who's in a happy relationship. I found my wife texted that to somebody a month ago.
I get it. I'm not going to say that those things. Of course, there was a roller coaster relationship, but it wasn't like anything that was anything you would think that someone would hurt someone. It just would.
I'm just addressing the fact that you just told me that the last 6 months have been bliss and it ain't.
Yes.
Okay.
There have been levels of that,
okay.
And you can check the other texts, and they are super. I love you. I'm going to say
I saw that.
There are.
It's very much up and down. Bipolar relationship.
That would go away. That would really go away. It would last for a night.
Will you acknowledge that that's some pretty heavy shit when your wife said, I took up my wedding ring, I don't think we're going to stay together.
It's not as heavy as you think it is.
You don't think that?
You might think it is, but it's not. She would be like that at times because of her anger issues. It always swung back. It wasn't.
Well, why would you have said that whenever they asked how your relationship?
I didn't even remember that because it's not in my mindset. The good times have been so good.
Okay, but you
guys are really going to try to.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm reading your wife's words.
That's
and
I'm
going.
I
understand that. Just let me. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying when you come in and say we had a great relationship, told Officer Hollis, we had a great marriage, no problems whatsoever, and then I read this, it's going back 6 months, and you text her on New Year's Eve and say if you want a divorce and want me to move out, fine. I mean, these are all things I just printed off, which have they aren't the usual fight, like, I'm pissed at you, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you tonight, just leave me alone. It's go golfing, because I don't want to see you right now, I want to be alone. That's,
Well,
we admit that's pretty,
it's not as heavy as you think it is. From looking at it from the outside, I can see why someone would think that. But it's not. It's just the level of anger from, I'm not going to say it's her fault. I had my issues with my son, I would get angry too. We would fall back in love the next day. It was just the thing that we would do. And it wasn't, and when you say, hey, how was the last 6 months? The last 6 months have been really nice, man. I mean, was there a time we had a night where I said some bad things and she took her wedding ring off? How long ago was that? I mean,
a month ago.
It happened, but I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't know how to explain to you.
Do you remember that happening though?
I remember her, I think, taking her wedding ring off, but it didn't last. But this thing has gone on forever.
When was the last argument you and her got into, the screaming match?
There was never really a screaming match. It was more of just.
When was the last argument / loud conversation?
I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you. I was guessing.
Because your neighbors are out there saying it was in the last 2 weeks. Would that be correct?
I don't know. And there's the screaming. We were screaming at each other. They were saying we were screaming at each other.
Yes.
That they could hear. I don't know. We weren't. She was saying that to her friend. I mean, that's surprising to me because I wasn't like, I mean, at times you say, hey, I don't want to be married to you anymore. But it doesn't go down the lines that I'm sitting in a police station right now being like, you're going after me.
We just have to
make sure we know the story.
And trust me, as a man to man, that what was going on there was nothing there was nothing to be worried about. There wasn't anything.
So, can I change course now? So, it was Officer Hollis. I keep wanting to think it's Sereno, but it was Officer Hollis came out on Monday to take the report, correct? I just need to know if you did. And there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know.
Matt, this was 2 days ago.
I know.
You can't remember if you
Which
were
phone I
on
used
her
to-
phone. Did you get on her? Did you think to yourself, and this would make perfect sense, to say, look, I don't know her friends, which we know. So I'm going to get on it, and you made the comment, I would like to post things to her account. That's why you wanted her phone back. So it's been through your mind. It would make perfect sense. I'm going to go on her Facebook account and post, hey, has anyone seen Emily? This is her husband. I can't find her. She's
I
been...
must have. I can't recall, but I must
You
have.
don't remember that? It was 2 days ago.
I don't. I don't know if it was me that put that on. I must have. I had to.
Was someone else using her phone?
No.
So the phone stayed at the house the whole time? You didn't hand it out to a cousin or walking down the street, some Joe stranger or anything else like that? Okay. So if anything was posted on her account, have you ever accessed her Facebook from your phone?
I can't. So I've never done it. I can't access. I've tried to post stuff onto her page from my phone, but it doesn't
But you can't get in as her on her Facebook.
I can do it from her phone. I can do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Just get on her phone, go to Facebook, and
Okay.
I'm sure I did. I can't say I definitively did, but I'm sure I got on Facebook. Hey, I did, didn't I? I did. You guys know. I went on and say, this is Matt. I'm Emily's husband. She's missing. I must have. I had to. I just don't recall right now if I did. But I'm pretty. I mean, that would be the move to make her. And I mean,
Just because we ask you the question, it doesn't mean that we're going at it.
It's not a trick question.
I know, you're right. And I'm just trying to tell you that if I don't in my head picture it, I don't want to say I did. But I mean, it would be the move to make. I mean, yeah, I must have.
Okay.
I've been using my phone, her phone, my phone, her phone for the last, this is Wednesday now? I don't even know what day it is anymore. I've been using 2 phones, so it's looking at her friends.
But you can't post from yours, so if you post into her Facebook account, it has to be through her phone.
It has to be through her phone, there's no doubt about it.
Did you use her phone for any other purpose?
Like what?
You text some friends of hers, or any contacts?
I'm sure I did. Yeah, I had to because I don't have a lot of her friends' phone numbers and stuff. So yeah, that's why when I gave the phone to you guys, I was like, you need that phone back to contact people.
Do you think, did you make, I know you say you don't remember, but did you make a couple posts on her Facebook account? Did you make 1, did you make 5?
I mean.
So, and of course, no one knows anything at this point. I'm just asking for your opinion. So, do you think that she hung herself?
I don't know.
Just what does your gut say?
Did she hurt herself?
That's your gut belief. Has she ever
I'm going to say, anything on the line.
We were just talking.
She has talked about killing herself before, but not anything where I would call the authorities and say, you need to save her.
If she were to hang herself, where would she do it?
She would do it where she would be easily found. She wouldn't want to cross any contact.
So since she hasn't been easily found, is it plausible that she didn't kill herself?
You tell me. You're the police. I'm not.
I just want you to just look at the entire thing. Just pull yourself out of it.
Is there a chance that she went out at some point and someone abducted her from Westerville, Ohio, and put her in the car and drove off with her? What are the odds that that happened?
In Westerville, Ohio, almost 0%.
0.
Especially on Memorial Day when everyone's at home. It's a perfect day out.
So I'm going to say, was she abducted? Probably no. I know I did not hurt her. I didn't do it. So the other thing that I think of is that she did something.
On June 17, 2021, Emily Noble's husband, Matt Moore, was arrested and charged with murder and felonious assault. In a press conference, law enforcement stated that, quote, Emily had multiple facial and neck fractures. This was a clear case of homicide staged as a suicide. End quote. In August of 2022, the verdict came in.
Verdict on count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matheau L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment dated the 26th of August 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 2. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matheau L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 2 of the indictment dated 26 August 2022 and signed in ink by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 3. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matheau Moore not guilty of felonious assault as he stands charged in count 3 of the indictment dated August 26, 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel.
Even after Matt Moore's acquittal, many people still believe he did it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.